Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. This is basically the sixth number part of the PHP Advance. One of the person told that this simple looking one line basically is connecting to tsunami, earthquakes, lava blast. So whatever things basically, for example, earthquake happened in assume that basically in Myanmar basically the earthquake was happened, right? Basically more than I think 8 point something earthquake basically came. If you will decode that basically, you will able to track that basically PHP also have some contribution basically. So one of the person told that yaar, matlab, so Myanmar people basically, that is the prime minister of Myanmar, Myanmar basically, Myanmar or basically whatever basically it spells, they basically know this 100%. They might be knowing basically without knowing basically how, um but India might be knowing basically. Why India might be knowing? Because India is handling the PHP. In India, basically more than 1 crore PHP developers are there. More than 10,000 software companies are there basically who are using PHP. So if you decode more stuff basically, it will connect to which all countries basically contributed in this earthquake. Contributed means it's basically you can say it's very dangerous stuff basically. This has happened basically. So that's why basically the government has to be very clear basically. Because exact data basically you will never able to get that. People will say that basically Pakistan भी था इसमें. People will say that basically China भी था इसमें. People will say that basically Japan also basically was there. But have you basically ever tracked that basically? How you first of all basically how you will know that basically in earthquake basically this all data was used basically. That is not possible here. How you will track it basically? How you will say that basically? For example, in Mumbai basically there is one area that is I think Mahalakshmi or Lower Parel. There are more than 100 floor building basically. So how you will track that basically that building is standing at from this energy, and the when the earthquake will happen basically due to some bad energy basically the building will fall basically. So how Mumbai is ready up to the level that basically we can tell this to Manase basically, Manase and Shiv Sena group basically, because they are looking after Maharashtrian people basically. So we can give this contract to Manase basically. But Manase only know Dadagiri basically. But he lots of people say that he is very intelligent person basically. He can become the future chief minister basically. So that's basically here basically the brain use comes into the picture. So assume that basically some by mistake basically he watched this video and he tracked that basically why these all are the energies basically with which are basically into the lower Parel and Mahalakshmi. Due to that building, due to this energy basically the 100 floors buildings are standing. If you will add this energy basically, that means if you will add this energy 100% basically in Mumbai earthquake will happen and 100% basically the Mahalakshmi and Lower Parel 100 floor building basically is going to fall. So one of the person told that the Mumbai like city basically if they can prepare 100 floor buildings that means they are ready up to this level basically. Otherwise basically that means they have the power. So in that 100 floor basically the big companies like Lycos is there, then the Yahoo store is there, then the Yahoo is there, then the Googles are there basically, then the um, Microsoft are there, then like this basically Accenture basically is there, Capgemini is there, then iFlex is there, then basically the many software big companies basically are there in that floor basically. So it's a big group basically. So they have the power and they know that basically which energies are going to create problem. So decoding coding that Mumbai basically knows. If Mumbai knows that means that's why basically they have created this building basically. Because to create one huge building basically 100 floor building basically the investment is itself basically I think 30,000 40,000 crore. and the maintenance basically monthly. So like this basically, assume that 50,000 crore basically is the cost of the building basically. So if Mumbai is spending 50,000 crore just to create one building basically 100 floor, so to secure also basically they might be paying the money 100% no, basically. Otherwise basically how they are securing the building basically. So that means negative energy, positive energy. Currently in Mumbai positive energies are there. That's why basically there is no earthquake. If assume suddenly basically the negative energy connected immediately basically the, so one of the person तो किसी negative energy को वहाँ भेज देते कैसा रहेगा, but it will not work basically. Why? Because the power supply only basically controls the buildings basically, because otherwise many bad energy will connect to Mumbai and immediately basically the earthquake will happen. So that type of thing basically will not work in nowadays. Previously it was there, this person was entering, earthquake happened, this person was entering, earthquake happened. But nowadays basically it's a power supply chain basically, power supply data basically are handling the buildings. So here basically Mumbai basically say that basically we have that website data also basically. From that basically if we run that, immediately basically that person basically will get this bimari, that bimari, this bimari, that bimari, sardi, this, that, each and everything basically they add. But that is basically Mumbai group. But they sometime they gets back also basically. That somebody tracked this and he basically created something and basically sent to Mumbai basically, and that basically connects to the negative energy. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about that single line code basically of PHP, which is connecting up to tsunami earthquakes in any of the country basically. Here basically I am taking the example of India basically, PHP group basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.